Do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, Jaden?
Absolutely. So I started working here about 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago now. And when I was hired, it was my first job. I was a part-time worker and I was a sales associate, or what we call an ACE, which stands for Animal Care Expert. And it's a term that we use in Pet Value and Bosleys, and basically because we want to be, rather than just a, greet the customer, let them go shop on their own, bring them through, we want to be a person who works with them the whole time. So we want to really help them and create a bond and have that relationship.
You guys know all different aspects of the store and different pets and
Absolutely. We aim to be a one-stop shop, which is basically where, you have a dog, you have a cat, you have a rabbit, fish. We can do all of that. So we know all the information for every type of animal, every breed. We have all of the reptile training, all of the fish training, things like that. And we want to be able to help everyone with all of their needs. So if we don't carry a product, for example, we do our best to try and bring that specific product in for someone and make sure we have everything here for everyone. And after, I would say, a year and a half, maybe 2 years, I was promoted to a supervisor when I started working a little more and with school and stuff. Yeah, and then they promoted me to assistant manager.
So you know that I'm a customer here. I've got a red-eared slider at home and I come in for the feeders. So I see a puffer over there. I don't know if it's from Singapore or not, but do you mind telling us 2 quick facts about
Absolutely. So the puffers, this guy is one of our larger puffers. We do also have some pea puffers, which are basically dwarf. Okay. And these guys here, they live in brackish water. So what that means is it's half freshwater and half salt, but as they mature, they can go into fully salt water. So they're a little bit harder to take care of for that reason. They also need a larger tank. So usually they're in about a 40-gallon and larger, depending on what you have in there with them.
Wow, experts in all the fish area. Okay.
Yes, we try. Okay, so here we have our Performance and Excellence food, and anything within this line, it comes in dry and canned formulas, will be our kind of basic formula where it will have the natural ingredients but still be very cost effective and more of an introductory line. Down this way, we have our Performance Naturals, which is a little bit of a step up, so it's designed where you go from the intro to the more basic line, and that is again going to be complete real natural ingredients, a little more expensive in price, but a little bit fuller in nutrient levels, basically.
You mentioned this is an intro. Is this considered starting for a premium food?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. This is a private label by Pet Value, so any Pet Value store will have them, but Bosleys is the one that contributes the most to it and will have the main focus on it. So we also have Barkers down here. And this would be the main intro food, kind of when someone's on, say, a grocery store food, and you want to start switching them. It's hard to do a direct switch from the grocery store. Exactly, especially because they do contain a few fillers and things like that. So this one will be the most cost effective. It'll be the cheapest line, but it'll still have real ingredients in there rather than all the fillers. And that one's designed to basically be your stepping stones to get onto the other one, and then eventually onto the premium line, which is the Performance Ultra this way. So the Performance Ultra is a Canadian company, as is all of the other private label Bosleys brands. Okay. And it is all down this aisle here. So it is a 5-star food, completely natural, all locally sourced ingredients and locally made. And yeah, they have a lot of different lines. They have a lot of limited ingredient and grain-free, grain-friendly, all the different ones. So there's a lot of options depending on specific pets' needs, cost, things like that.
Would you say this is the greatest food in terms of quality that you can purchase at the store?
I would say so, for sure, one of them. There's definitely a few more, but if you're looking, for all of the variety and everything you can get, this is definitely your go-to. Just because it is rated a 5-star food, it's fully Canadian made, and there's so many options with it that it's something that you can trust.
Wow.
So,
just for everyone listening, what is it called again?
Performance Ultra.
Okay.
Yeah. This is our DNA test and our allergy test here. We've started to run out of some of them. They have picked up some popularity, but they're specific to our location. We actually worked with the company to bring them in because a lot of us here have some very allergy-prone dogs, including myself. Basically, you take a swab of saliva from the dog, you just kind of stick it right in their mouth. And because they can't actually spit into a tube, you'll push that into a provided tube, you'll mail it off, and you get the results in like 2 weeks. And the allergy test, same exact thing. And I actually have a copy of the results here. So these guys will say who it's prepared for, so the owner of the dog, and then it'll also give you the dog's name. And if you go through it, this is the allergy one specifically. So it tells you the different types of allergies, where they come from, and how prominent they are.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that you guys provide something like that. So this is the allergy one.
Yes.
What is just the DNA my dog?
The DNA one will give you different levels of classification of what breed your dog is. So it is specific to dogs. We've had a lot of questions of whether they can be used on cats or not. It'll give you a 1 to 5 classification of the breeds of the dog. So for example, I have a Cocker Spaniel Boston Terrier mix, and she is purely those 2 breeds. But if she had something else in there, it would show for like level 5 of the 2 and level 3 or level 2 of whatever else would be in there. So it does give you a really good way to kind of figure out where their temperament comes from. Or for rescues, a lot of people, you know, want to find out exactly what they are, what they sign up for. And that's where the clarification of what they are, their allergies, things like that comes in.
So our second speaker coming on is going to be Dina. There she is.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. This is Dina, like I mentioned, our second speaker today. Dina, I've been here so many times. I take my dog and I bathe him here, and I've never known what this section is.
Well, we're actually a full service grooming. So we, in addition to the dog wash, the U-Groom section, we have full service grooming, and we do dogs, cats, and small animals.
So is that your position here?
So I am one of the groomers here. So there are 2 of us, and I am the full-time groomer. I do cats and dogs and small animals, but everything we do in here.
Fantastic. Now, I know that you actually know the owner, Kurtis, prior to Bosleys being open. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I used to work for Nutro doing all sorts of demonstrations and nutritional seminars at all the different pet stores in Lower Mainland. So I've been in the pet industry for about 25 years.
Wow.
And one of the stores I used to work at was Petland, and that's where Kurt initially came from. So I met him there probably about 13 years ago. So we kind of just talked from there, and then that's where my love of fish came from too. So
you guys can't see back there, she's got a whole bunch of fish bowls going.
But yeah, so we've known each other for quite some time.
Perfect. So if someone wants to use your services, how do they get in contact with you?
So they can call the store, and what the store will do is they will give your appropriate groomer's telephone number out. With that being said, it's just much easier for us to do our own bookings because we can answer all the questions that customers might have, how long it would take, cost. We have like dogs in with like dogs, and you know, in case there is an issue or we have something reactive, which happens, and that's fine, but we can do it at a different time, being later in the day or first thing in the morning.
You mentioned reactive. Is that because you guys don't kennel, right?
I don't kennel at all. We don't even tie in, just because I figure grooming is such a big deal for animals and they don't really know what's going on, that I want to make it as less stressful as possible. The only time I do tie something in is in the tub, and that is because if they jump out soapy, they could break a leg.
I have to tie mine down as well.
Yes, so that's the only time, and that's for their own safety. But as for drying, everything is done by hand. There's no kennel drying, nothing like that. We very much believe in positive reinforcement. The treats, oh my goodness, the treats are how we make everything happen here.
That's awesome. And I know you guys do great with dogs because I don't know if it was Jaden that mentioned it, but you guys bring in what, red flag animals or rescued animals?
Yes, so we do a lot of rescue dogs, a lot of dogs that have come from different countries off of trucks that have been carted in, just rescues trying to get out. And once we get them here, we'll fix them up and send them out as well. So I used to volunteer a lot of my time to the shelters just to try and clean up the animals to get them adopted, because they don't always come in the best conditions, and they're deathly afraid of people at that point too.
For those that don't know, what is a red flag animal?
So a red flag dog is an animal that has been red flagged at a vet for behavior, possible biter, reactive with other dogs, might be reactive with people. So we do a lot of those types of dogs, and it's just, you have to slow everything down.
Okay. Question for you, and you mentioned it too with the seniors. I heard that there's a seniors day here. What does that mean?
There is. So the last Thursday of every month, we offer 10% off to all the seniors.
Awesome.
And it gets very busy, and because, you know, at pet food, when you buy a lot of treats, it can get expensive.
Yeah,
so that 10% is very much a great thing for them.
Hi everyone, change of attire here because we're going to show you my favorite part about Bosleys, the convenience of bathing your dog here. I've got my puppers here. We've got the shampoo, towels, all provided by Bosley. There he is. Let's get to it. I don't think you're usually supposed to sit in the tub, but with this guy I kind of have to. Oh yes, mister. This is a workout, man. That's exhausting. See how convenient it is though? Like imagine doing that at home.